Hey guys, happy Saturday. I think anyway. Let me look. Yeah, it's Saturday. Anyways, how is everybody? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are having a really nice weekend. I hope everything's going well. Everybody at the Michigan Paracon, the paranormal convention. Hi guys. I miss you. I wish I was there, Andrea. I wish I was there to give you a hug. I'm seeing all the pictures. Lynn Bowling, you made my one of my childhood dreams come true. So I've never had a picture directly from Kevin Tenney. He literally is the reason that I am on my path still because of Witchboard. You guys all know that, though, and you guys know how much I think he is a genius, and he is. It's true. But anyways, I think he should be president. What do you guys think? I think so. Maybe him and his brother. Yeah, Dennis. I think that they would run a really good country. Anyways, but thank you for that picture. It was amazing. I was like, oh. And I did get choked up and everything. I was like, oh my god. And then the thumbs up one, I was just like, yes, it just made my day. Made my weekend. I'm still glowing. Anyways, enough about my childhood not crush. Don't worry, Kevin. You're safe. My idol. Literally, my idol. So, he needs to be taken more seriously, I think. I think he deserves much more recognition for his work. Anyways, so does Andrea. Oh my god, House of Darkness, House of Light is insane. It is insane. The synchronicities between this house and her house. Oh my god, I can't even read it. I can't read it past when the sun starts to set. That's when I know to put the book up. Yeah, so the truth is stranger than fiction. It is very true. So, anyways, I wanted to do, I don't know why, but I had a dream last night about a mermaid. It was just in my dream, so I didn't, there's no there's no remembering of, what happened. It was just a mermaid. And then I was going through the book again, my Cornish book of Myth and Magic, and we have mermaids and sea goddesses. So, here we go. We have some, a little more, just some, good stories and myth and, from Cornwall, the good stuff. So, alright, now, less than 200 years ago, this is what I like. So, the West Brighton newspaper on July 6th of 1827 described sightings of mermaids, up to 5 of them, over 3 days in and around a cavern on the beach at Magwan Porth. After a young man encountered the cavern and encountered something in human shape with long hair hanging about it. Now between the worlds, as the threshold of the tides, crossing the space between the human race and the otherworldly watery realms, swim the mermaids. Now in Cornwall they are known from various places, and they are powerful creatures not to be trifled with. I've heard this, and you never want to trifle with one. So no pretty queen, beauty queen sitting, preening, or, what is the word, when you're in the mirror for too long, primping, is that the word, primping? Yeah, primping. So basically, another variation of that word. Now where'd I go? So they're preening themselves on the rocks. Now the Cornish mermaids can control the wild seas and influence human destiny. For example, at Lamoma in West Cornwall, where I want to live, the mermaid would sit on rocks and sing plaintively before bad weather and a shipwreck. So now at Seaton in East Cornwall, the mermaid silted upon the harbor when a local man insulted her. And the same story is told of Padstow. So here the harbor was once deep and open, a veritable playground. Oh my god, I can't talk. Veritable playground for mermaids. But one day a man shot at her with a gun. God, that's awful. And the mermaid, in anger, silted up the harbor entrance with the doom bar. Good. Now, mermaids also have the ability to bewitch and lure men away from their mortal world. I love that. like sirens. So they were otherworldly shapeshifters who could appear and disappear with the tides. Now at Curry, on the Lizard, an old man named Looty found a mermaid stranded on the rocks by the receding tide. Now Looty took pity on her and carried her back to the sea, and she granted him 3 wishes in return. He chose not gold and silver, but the power to do good to his neighbors, and in particular to break the spells of witchcraft, to charm away diseases, and in one version to discover thieves and restore stolen goods, and in another version to have these powers continue in his family forever. That's really good. That's a really good make do with a wish. Now these powers having been given, Hunt says that to this day, a family well known in Cornwall have for some generations exercised the power of charming, etc. Now as she slips away into the waves, the mermaid called Morvina, I like that, tries to persuade Looty to go with her and see wonderful sea caverns. Now he's tempted by her words and almost in her power, but he remembers his home at the last moment and breaks free. However, 9 years later to the day, she comes for him while he is out fishing, and he swims off into the sea with her, never to be seen again. And there's all of these reports. We have these reports everywhere. So mermaids represent the other world, the same world as inhabited by the fairies and piskies, and as such, they are the spirits of the world of the fairy. Pretty much a world no longer generally believed in, but accepted as just as real as our own in the past, especially in rural areas like Cornwall. That's why I belong in Cornwall. I know mermaids are real. Miss Risky, she will know and tell you that mermaids are real too, because she is one. Now, the most famous Cornish mermaid legend is that of Zenor. It is, like the Curry legend, one of an otherworldly creature who tempts away a mortal man. Now, in this legend, the mermaid appears at the back of the church in the disguise of a beautiful woman with an exquisite voice. There we have the connection with the sirens. She falls in love with Matthew Trowella, the churchwarden's son and finest choir boy by Zenor. Okay, now one day he slips away with her down toward the sea, and the pair are never seen again, except when the captain of a ship passing by has an encounter with the mermaid. Now the legend is commemorated in a carving on the dark holly oak wood of the chancel seat in Zenor Church. Now a most unusual thing to find in a Christian church, although a well-painting at Berg Church near Helston also depicts a mermaid. Even more unusual, the plaque on the wall above the seat makes the suggestion that mermaids were originally pagan goddesses of the sea. What do you guys think? Now, the legend of Zenor Church is interesting in this respect. Its patron saint is Saint Senora, originally a pagan princess, Asenora of Brittany. She was cast adrift on the sea in a barrel when she was pregnant until she was washed up on the coast of Ireland, from where she returned to Brittany via Cornwall and founded the church at Zenor. Now, mermaid, saint, and sea goddess all seem inextricably intertwined and may all be aspects of an otherworld sea goddess who later was Christianized. So, now, along the coast, the tiny hamlet of Morva, sorry, I'm trying to pronounce these words right, may itself be named after Morvec, which has its links with Breton word, the Breton word meaning sea maidens or sea daughters. Now, certainly mermaids in Cornwall were originally called mermaids or merry maids, and Ian Cook, he has pointed out that they were identified in folklore with the moon and the goddess of love, Aphrodite, who may have shapeshifted into a fishtail as an aid to her escape from the attentions of the pursuing sun god. That's interesting. That's some interesting lore right there. Now, the linking of the moon and the tides is of course well known, and the identification of mermaids with the moon is further strengthened by her attendant iconography of a mirror and a comb, found almost universally in mermaid depictions. It always is, yes. Even in Haitian Vodou, La Sirène, she is considered a mermaid and she has a mirror and a comb. Now, found almost universally in mermaid depictions, the mirror may originally have represented the full moon and the calm phases of the moon. That's what I believe. The African goddess Mami Watu is depicted with a comb and a mirror, and there is also a very interesting carving on a 15th century chancel arch in the Clonfert Abbey in Cogalloway, in the west of Ireland, depicting a mermaid carrying a mirror and decorated with a circular object in her vaginal area. Okay, now that may be a moon, a sun symbol, or a sun symbol. This semi-Sheila Nagig combines notions of the sea, the moon, and goddess sexuality. Now, Clonfert Abbey lies beside the river Shannon, named after a goddess Sinan, and is a reminder that not all mermaids are goddesses of the sea. Most rivers and lakes also had their tutelary goddess in ancient times, which is very true. Now, they were not tolerated under Christianity, but could not quite be eliminated. Nothing can be eliminated. Christians cannot eliminate everything, especially if they were powerful, so went underground, or in this case, under the sea or river. Now, for example, in the Herefordshire, at Marden, a mermaid is said to live in the river lug beside the church. She possessed the church bell, which she kept under the water, and attempts to steal it back from her all failed. Now, in Stratfordshire, a mermaid dwelt on a high moors above Buxton and Leek in Doxey's Pool and Blackmere. When an attempt was made to drain Blackmere in the 19th century, she once again appeared to warn that if her pool dried up, she would drown Leek. Wow. Don't mess with them. Just don't mess with them. Now, nearby is the River Dane, probably named after the Celtic goddess Danu. So these stories are all telling the conflict between Christianity or progress and the older and more elemental pagan goddess religion. Now, the goddesses of the old religion shapeshifted into saints, giantesses, and mermaids under the new. Wow. So this is really a tale of, the fight between, the Christians trying to take over the pagan world and destroy it. And they successfully did so, but then it all comes back. It all comes back, so I love it. Now, thank you. Now, belief in mermaids was therefore not just a silly fancy, but a credulous people. By credulous people, it was rooted in ancient belief and tradition, a respect for the power of the sea or dangerous rivers and lakes, and a subconscious awareness that we sometimes might like to pretend the sirens of the sea, who in Greek myth could hire men away to magic islands and strange worlds, which would still have the ability to call us from this world to the other world that lies just beyond the horizon of the sea, and sometimes washes up on our shores with the mermaids. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to actually, now that I, kind of understand that. That's, the conflicting between, the pagan and, the old and the new. And, there's always a little bit of the old in the new. So, literally, again, I am picturing that meme that you guys see, paganism, and then there's, another guy with Christianity written over his head, and they're both writing, and the Christian is looking at the pagan, and writing what they did. That's kind of what this is. So this is a really interesting, subject line for that type of, just that type of thing, that type of, separation of, trying to overrule the pagan world and, demolish, the pagan temples and all of that when Christianity came, and, because they thought they, the right and only one, and that's not true at all. That's not true at all. All paths lead to, some, same form and or of the same destination in a way, in shapes and forms, but not always. So, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. Really, 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 really interesting. So maybe my dream now, I can connect my dream with maybe something conflicting in my mind, maybe some kind of belief that is conflicting with mine or the outside world, which definitely would be the outside world because of last night, my post about, Christianity, and, people are claiming the Antichrist is coming because of, the COVID shot and everything. I'm like, no, it's not. Get a life. But yes. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really, really interesting. And it's really cool that on the very front of the book, we have the mermaid. So I do suggest Between the Realms, Cornish Myth and Magic by Cheryl Straffen. Amazing, amazing imagery. it is a really good book, and this is from Troy Books, which is where Gemma Gary gets all her books published to. So I mean, it's just a good publishing company for, you know, Cornish witchcraft and, you know, traditional witchcraft. But alright guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this little, you know, this little tale, and, you know, some little, the stories of them being, you know, swept away, you know, outside of, you know, their normal world into another world. So it's just really interesting. But alright guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Sundays with Satan. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay cool. It's really hot out. Stay healthy, stay safe, all that good stuff. I love your guys' comments. Thank you so much for all of them. They're amazing. You guys are incredible. I love you guys with all my heart, all the way from Venus, all the way back down. Oh, sunburn. And I'll see you all tomorrow. So please just be safe, guys, and healthy. Stay healthy. Do all you gotta do. And I love you guys.